Today, I want to talk about transformation. And I've been working on myself now for several years, and I want to share that with other people so they can realize it can be done. Now, I'm still transforming every day, but I look back where I was 10, 15 years ago when I started really kind of thinking more about it. I started thinking I have come a long ways. I remember back, say, 15 years ago, I was a much more moody person where things would upset me. I'd be real up, or I'd kind of get down, or get angry, or I'd be very friendly. And I wanted to be more level on that. For instance, I used to get upset with drivers, people driving if they're going too slow, or if they tried to cut me off, and then I just want to get back at them too. And now if someone's going too slow and I can't get around them, what's my big hurry? What's going to be another 30 seconds? And if I can get around them, then just go around them. And if someone cuts me off and is trying to go faster than me, well, so what? Let them go and let them be gone. Go ahead, get in front of me and let it go. Because it doesn't matter. Maybe they're in a hurry. And then I started transforming my body. My diet wasn't very healthy, but I didn't know anything about how to eat healthy. So I just started Googling and searching online for healthy foods. And it gave me recipes, and one thing led to another on that. I just kept learning more. And then I got into this nutrition school online. That taught me a lot. And I really started eating healthier and understanding it, enjoying it. And I still treat myself sometimes to, I guess you could say, junk food, sugars and things like that. But it's more of a treat. It's not part of my everyday diet. And then I really enjoy it. So it's not like I've given it up all totally, but I have it's become my lifestyle now to be more of a healthy eater. And all these are kind of like micro steps you take. No matter what you want to become, you don't think you just got to get it all or know it all right away. Because as you start doing things, you'll learn other ways. So when I say micro steps, no matter what you want to do, if you want to have a better body and you want to get into shape, say, you start thinking about, well, what's the first thing I need to do? And if you know nothing about going to the gym or something, maybe research online. YouTube has so many videos that could talk about beginning weight training and give you some exercises. So, okay, you watch those, but you still need to do it. So what's the first thing you need to do? Well, if you have access to a gym, or you don't even need access to a gym, you can search how to get in shape at home with no equipment. And you'll find some great exercises. I remember I bought some bands, these bands I used to exercise at home. Now I belong to a gym. But what's the first thing I do this even now? If I'm not feeling real excited to get to the gym and work out, but I think, what else am I going to do? And then what's the best use of my next half hour, 45 minutes? I'll be done with it. So I just think, well, let me take it down to those micro steps. I'll put my shoes on. That's the very first thing, or get my workout shorts on, then my shoes, and then finish getting dressed. And then all of a sudden, well, I've got my shoes on. I'm ready to go. And then I just go do it. And then I'll tell myself, even if I'm not in the huge mood, I'll just work out lightly. Or if I'm going to do cardio, let me just kind of go slow. And then I do, and I get it done. And I might pick up the pace or lift more weights. I start feeling good. Other things I've done is I've learned how to be more comfortable with quiet around me. I used to need a lot of distraction, a lot of noise and activity around me. Maybe because I grew up in a family with 6 kids. We were all kind of in a smaller house. There was always so much going on. So when I'd be alone, I would get lonely, and I would always like leave the TV on or turn music on. It had to always be something going on. I didn't like to be alone by myself, so I'd go out or something, or I'd always felt like I needed to be in a relationship. And as I started working on being more comfortable with being quiet, I would meditate. And now I am. I'm like, I can be alone. I don't need that TV blaring. I don't need music going, but I enjoy those on occasion too. And I have better and stronger relationships. I'd say it's more quality over the quantity. Other things I wanted to do was be more confident. So again, that was just micro steps. How do I become more confident? I started watching YouTube videos on confidence or reading articles or books about it. And I started just even slowing my pace down, my speaking pace, and taking up more space, being patient and playing this long game, and then working on my posture, standing up straight, my shoulders back, my chin out, and feeling good about my body and realizing I am a good, attractive man and telling myself that. And that would lead me to more confidence and realizing I have good quality relationships and not feeling I needed to be the best, even in my work and my career as an engineer. I used to think I had to know it all. And then I realized, well, play on my strengths. And so I do. And now I bring in other engineers to help me on the things that I'm not strong enough, and I'm good with that. And it's made me a better overall engineer instead of thinking I needed to do it all myself. Example, another one is learning to play guitar. I always wanted to be a guitar player. And so about 2 years ago, I buy this acoustic guitar, and it sat in my closet for a couple of years up until about last year. And then I said to myself, well, are you going to do it? So I picked it up, and it was so hard to do. I thought, oh, to myself, no way am I going to learn this. But I didn't quit. I just went on YouTube and searched for beginning guitar lessons. And I found this teacher, a few of them. The one was really good. And simple beginning lessons, just how to hold it, how to strum, how to pick, how to hold the pick. Things like that. Simple chords. And this was all about a year ago. And then I bought a beginner book. So now I do this guitar almost every night, not every night, but pretty much every night for maybe 20 minutes, sometimes a half hour, and sometimes it might be just 15 minutes. Sometimes I realize it's got to almost 45 minutes. And it's fun. I get done and I kind of chuckle and I realize I've really made some good progress. I know some chords and I'm thinking, well, how far am I going to be if I keep next year? Because next year is going to come. So it's just keep working on these habits or lifestyle that you want, and you don't have to know it all. So you want to align yourself, your thoughts, because your thoughts are going to lead to your actions. So if your thoughts, you want to think your thoughts that you have these qualities in you, and they're going to start coming out again in small steps, and they may just be fractions of what these qualities are. But as you start focusing on that growth, it's going to start expanding even more. As what you give your thought to, it's going to grow, and your energy too. But old patterns will return. So then you've got to kind of recognize them. So I'll recognize when they happen. I've done a better job of that instead of just letting them take over and say, this is an old pattern. This is some moodiness I've done before, or some non-confidence issue, and so I think about that. I take some breaths and I realign that and reset it and go back to the habits or the actions I want to take, and then it'll start coming back. And as you do this more and more, it's going to become more of your growth pattern and your habits. So you're going to get stronger at that and start crowding out some of these old patterns. And even if you recognize this old pattern and you don't know, well, how do I get rid of this? Sometimes it's just breathing. So I've learned some breath tips from my research, and even breathing in, just breathing in through the nose. And I hold it for like 4 counts and I fill up my diaphragm, breathe in deep into your diaphragm. And then I hold that for maybe 4 more counts and then slowly release it through my mouth. And if I do that a few times, all of a sudden my thoughts seem to get away from that old pattern and I'm back in my present form, what I want to be. So when so you want to have that presence of how you want to be, and then you will realign and get going again. So even with relationships and people, I've learned how to make better eye contact, to look straight at them in the eye. I mean, don't stare at them, but hold the eye contact for a few seconds. And also, if you want to kind of get people to look at you and be more in tune to you, kind of maybe mirror how they're doing too. So that will help with relationships and people will like you and be more confident and be more of a leader on how you want to be and an example. And also you can start anywhere you're at. It doesn't matter your age or where you are in your lifestyle. It's these little micro steps, and just get going and do it every day. Just make it part of your life. And again, you're going to have setbacks or things are going to come into your life that are going to not be in alignment to where you want to be. But just think, if you're thinking about how you want to be, you have it inside you. So it's a matter of just keep growing that. It's like a seed. If you start giving that seed energy, water, and fertilizer and put it in the soil, it's going to start to grow. And it's okay to kind of just relax and let things go, because a seed, you're not constantly watching it either, but you're letting it go. You're giving it that strong base. And as you do this, you're going to get better and grow too. And then it's going to sprout and you're going to all of a sudden realize how far you've come. And when you start transforming what you're doing, you're going to be an inspiration to others because they're going to see these changes. And if you can do it, they're going to think they can do it too. And that's why I'm even doing this video, because I'm doing it and I've realized how far I've come, really a lot in the last few years, quite frankly. And I use my guitar thing in last year, how I've even gotten better. So get started where you're at. Focus on these micro steps and keep yourself aligned. And when things turn back out of alignment, take your breaths and focus again where you are, because know that deep down you have these qualities that you want in you. That's why you want to transform.